The word came out today here in San Francisco, and I'm sure across the state, that Macy's on Union Square, our premium flagship anchor store for the last 87 years, is closing. And it's important to understand, I think, not only what Macy's is telling us, but in reality what's happening. This is a kind of a big blow to San Franciscans because Macy's has been the anchor flagship store of our Union Square shopping district, which is one of the great shopping districts, always has been one of the great shopping districts in the world. Macy's today gave us a half a dozen excuses why they're closing, some of it valid. They're closing 150 stores. In San Francisco, it's 400 employees that are going to lose their jobs. But they're not closing some of the Macy's in the suburban areas, and that's interesting. Because I think the problems that Macy's is facing downtown are unique to San Francisco. We have, as I said earlier, San Francisco, Union Square has been one of the great shopping districts in the world. If you go to Dublin, you've got Grafton Street. If you go to London, you've got High Street, Covent Gardens, Via Condotti in Rome. You know, you've got in Paris, the Boulevard Saint-Germain. So these are unique shopping districts throughout the world. San Francisco has always been in that mix. It's always rivaled that. Now, Macy's is telling us that their customer base has changed. There's more online shopping. Well, Europeans do just as much online shopping as we do, if not more. But yet, if you go to those cities, you'll see those downtown shopping areas thriving, wall-to-wall people. Why is that? Could it be that the city that they're in is mismanaged or managed better? Not mismanaged, but managed better? Is it customer-friendly? There's no doubt that we have more crime in those cities, street crime. There's no doubt that our unique shopping district is in the midst of, surrounded by homeless encampments and crime, street crime. It's out of control. And you're going to hear a whole different bunch of reasons from the powers that be. Oh, no, crime's done with. All of a sudden, the last couple of weeks, they did away with it. It's not done. Just because they say crime doesn't exist, it does exist. The streets are filthy. They're dirty. But moreover, it's customer. Those other districts I'm talking about are customer friendly. You can park. They have parking garages. The streets are clean. You're welcomed in those districts. That's not the case in San Francisco. You can't park here because the parking garages, the public parking garages that you're forced to use because there's no street parking, are outrageous. No one wants to put up with being harassed while they're going shopping, especially with their family. So what you get here primarily is single people now. Macy's, the demographic for downtown San Francisco, isn't working anymore because of we've let the city go into ruin, especially the downtown area. That's the real reason. Macy's will tell you a lot of different reasons, but they also admit that crime is a big factor. The impact is you can't go there anymore. There is no, the closest Macy's, I think, still open, might be down in Daly City. I think there's one, or over in Pleasanton. They're not closing that one. San Rafael, I think they might be closing, but you have to go way out in the suburbs. But the whole downtown, we've lost 30 key shopping stores, big name shopping outlets in downtown in the last 6 months to a year. The San Francisco Mall went out of business. The key Walgreens store just around the corner from this Macy's closed. Nordstrom Rack, gone. I mean, I can go on and on and on, but there's a 36% vacancy rate of stores downtown. Well, that tells you something. It's dying. It's dying because it's the proper attention has not been given to it. Every time something closes downtown, it's less of a group of people to draw from. With Nordstrom gone, Walgreens gone, the San Francisco Shopping Center gone, there's less people to draw into Macy's. They know that. These are sharp demographic marketers. They know long term. They're not going to give up a prime spot in the United States or indeed the world unless they're fairly certain they're not going to be making the required profit from it anymore. That tells you they don't have a lot of faith and trust in our administrators either. It's a complicated problem. It takes a lot of work to correct it, but it takes the will. It takes a will on behalf of the people running the city to want it to change. You can't just talk about it. You have to know how to do it.
So Macy's just shut down its operation in Union Square, San Francisco. Every day we're bringing news like this to you Californians from California Insider, where we are not only telling you the headlines as they're breaking, but also we're going to tell you what's happening behind the scenes and how they're going to impact you. We've created a newsletter for you where we're curating the top news in the state, and every day we're going to send it to you. You can sign up for this newsletter. It's very easy to scan it, and a lot of news that we cover are not covered in the mainstream media. Click on the link below to sign up.
Certainly the mayor is trying to spin it like San Francisco is now healing, it's getting better. No, it's not. People from the political walk of life, especially on the left end, always try to spin things. No, it's not. If that was the case, Macy's, I guarantee you, would stay open. This closing has been rumored for about 6 months. I'd say every plea to keep them open to the Macy's authorities has been made. They know what they're doing. They're getting out while they can. They're not making any money there. That's why they're getting out. They're not closing all the Macy's in the areas. Everything turns around if you want it to, if the will is there. But you can't just say it's turned around and it's turned around. This particular administration hasn't got a clue on public administration. They haven't got a clue. So that's why it is the way it is. Do I think it can change around? Yes, I do. It's unique. There's not another spot in the United States like Union Square, surrounded by 5,000 to 6,000 hotel rooms, world-class restaurants, entertainment. There's not another spot. I mean, Rome, Paris, Amsterdam, maybe. Not quite as nice. It's a unique little spot. But if you don't handle it, you don't nurture it, you don't feed it, it dies, and that's what's happening. You can't drive your car downtown anymore. You can't even let a passenger out. You chance a parking ticket. You can't stop. You can't park your car downtown. All of downtown has yellow parking curbs painted yellow for loading and unloading, but there is no more loading and unloading during the day. Why not let the San Franciscans and the residents park there? Let them come down. Put meters up if you have to, like we used to have. But no, they want to force them into the garages and charge $20 to $30 an hour. Regardless of Bidenomics and the great economy, no one can afford it. Some of the things that coming out of this administration blows my mind. Just recently, they talked about, well, the stores should all employ off-duty cops and provide their own security. Now, to a degree, they might be right, but stores are in the business of selling product, not security. And it is a basic function of government to provide security, especially on the streets, not in the stores, on the streets. That's not happening now. That's not happening. You don't have cops on the beat down there. You might see one or two of them, but not as enough to fulfill a need. We have to bring our police force to full complement, which is another 400 officers, true. But more than that, it's not just a matter of putting cops on the street. It's changing the culture. It's making the policemen themselves proud of the work they're doing, rather than putting them under the gun and blaming them for everything. Let's make them proud of what they're doing. They'll take care of the job. The stores, you give the stores, you cut the red tape that they have to go through to set up business. They'll do business. They'll do business. They'll cut the red tape. Let them do what they do best, and give them some parking, reduce the parking rates. It's ridiculous. I mean, you drive downtown, even if you're unloading a senior citizen in your car or something, you're allowed to get a ticket from some parking meter guy standing there making his quota. You can't, or you go in a garage at $20 to $30 an hour. So no one's going to do that. No one's going to take the Muni downtown and shop, because what are they going to do? Carry their bags on the Muni and get robbed on the way home? It's crazy. Stop with the grammar school administration and stop trying to fool the people. We know what's going on. We know what's going on in San Francisco. Anybody in politics knows what's going on. Not all of them are going to tell you the truth. The incompetence coming out of this administration and the past 2 or 3 administrations is unparalleled when it comes to stupidity in public administration. They haven't got a clue. They didn't learn that in school, and they certainly didn't learn it on the street or wherever they claim they're from. The city will turn around with a proper management or it's going to die, and it's going to take years for it to turn around. With the elections coming up on March 5th, just next month, there are a few minor issues on the ballot that might help the city change, but they're minor, like improved policing tactics. They can follow they can engage in a chase and stuff like that. Yeah, that all helps out when it comes to policing, but that's not going to clean up downtown. There's nothing that's going to clean up downtown unless they make bold moves. Number one is eradicating crime. You've got to stop that downtown. You got to clean the streets. You have to clear it of the shopping district, of the homeless encampments that surround it. They've moved out some of them for the APEC conference we had a month or 2 ago, but now they're all back. The streets are just as they were the last 6 months. The politicians will tell you no, but all you have to do is drive down and look for yourself. The boldest move of all is instilling us a sense of pride in our city. Give us back the pride. Let us engage in commerce the way we used to. Quit putting regulations and making it hard for people to enjoy the downtown. They'll come back. You correct the core things, downtown will come back. But you have to clean the streets up. You have to clean the streets up. That's number one. And you have to make it customer friendly. San Francisco's not that anymore. So you have to think in terms of changing the culture.